Welcome to our Spotlight interview series. I'm your host Ananya. Here we bring the best filmmakers from all around the world beyond the commercial cinema. Today we have with us Tushar Prakash, a rising Indian Estonian filmmaker whose film Sauna was released the previous year and received worldwide acclaim, especially in international film festivals and the prestigious Cannes Film Festival. Hello Tushar. Welcome to the 72 Dragons Media, and we are so grateful to have you with us.
Hi, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. A little insight on our guest filmmaker for the viewers. Tushar is a graduate of the National Polish Film School. He has created several amazing films, but I think two of his films are my personal favorites, and these two have been created in collaboration with Anna Hinz, who is another prominent Estonian filmmaker. So these two films are Savvusanna Sisterhood, that released in 2023, and I would say its conceptual twin, that is a short film called Sauna Day, that was released in 2024. He has also worked in Indian cinema and has directed a documentary along with director Ram Devineni called The Karma Killings, that was released in 2016. So Tushar, we understand that you have played different roles in filmmaking, an editor, a film director. We are curious, how did this transition happen between the roles? Like, was there any major difference in fulfilling the role of a film editor as opposed to a director?
Yeah, there is also a third role that I play, that's of a scriptwriter. So scriptwriter, editor, and director. So why these roles is, well, for editor, when I was learning filmmaking in my early 20s, somebody had told me that editing is the spinal cord of filmmaking to tell a story. So that's when I picked up editing. I always wanted to be a filmmaker, but I was very curious in trying to learn what's the best way to grasp it and what are the various aspects of it. So somebody had told me that editing is a very key part in filmmaking, and that's how I picked it up. And I edited in my early 20s, but it's not a skill that I kept. It's a skill that helped me a lot in telling stories. And then it came in use again when I was editing Savvusanna Sisterhood. With script writing also, I wanted to understand what is the heart of telling a story, because what happens is in filmmaking, often when you give the idea to the film crew, there are amazing, talented people, the head of departments, and it can really be a storm with a lot of amazing voices and strong ideas around you, and there can really be a storm. So what I felt that for me to kind of hold the heart of my vision, the core of my vision of what I want to tell, of the story that I want to make, that's how I got into script writing. This is how I learned these skills. But now in my life, these two skills that I learned for my own cinema has been coming in great use for other people's cinema, and I'm able to contribute to their vision, and in the process also learn a lot from that process. But all three of them, editing, script writing, and filmmaking, they're all three bound by the passion of telling a story, and that's how it happened.
So that takes me to another part that is my favorite part of the discussion, and I hope for the viewers as well. Those are your films. So as we have already mentioned, you are one of the editors for the film Savvusanna Sisterhood, and you have co-directed Sauna Day. So we would love to know, how was your experience working in both the films? Because one is a documentary and another is a short film. And in Savvusanna Sisterhood, what I believed, one of its biggest strengths is its cinematography as well, because it's natural, yet it's very surreal. It doesn't feel very realistic. It's very like a dreamlike sequence. So how was your experience working in both the films?
So for Savvusanna Sisterhood, it was through an act of destiny and total privilege that I was brought on board to edit the movie. And I am very thankful for that. It was an amazing learning experience for me. So while I was editing along with Anna Hinz, we were both editing together for almost a year, and we were really living with the footage. We were from morning to evening and really like just living the movie for a year. So what I had realized while going through the footage with Anna was that she had really caught these amazing miracles in front of the camera, along with her DOPs, the way he shot it. But really, like, Anna was able to kind of collide these amazing things in front of the camera and create these miracles. She was really able to catch these miracles. And that was an amazing learning experience for me, to really sit with so much footage and to create a format and a language that seems natural to this footage. Also, at the same time, it was a real privilege for me to be working next to a director who was making this documentary, because I really felt that somehow something larger, some kind of a universe was speaking through her during this movie. And, in India, we often see that with Indian classical musicians, and they go into a state of trance, they're channeling something higher than them. So here I really felt that something higher was being channeled through her, and it was a real privilege to be next to that. And then how Sauna Day came about was while we were editing this documentary, we also started talking about, that, wow, it would be so awesome for men to have this kind of space where they can share. And also when Anna finished the documentary and as she was touring with the documentary, also many men were coming up to her and saying that, why don't we men have a space like this where we can share? And for me personally, as a filmmaker, also these topics of masculinity and men have been something very close to me. Coming from India, seeing a lot of toxic masculinity around me while growing up, we as Indian men are really under the weight of honor and under the weight of how we are supposed to perform as men and what does it mean to be a man. And only now, I think you had said that somehow they are both related. And we were at a screening in Portugal where both films were being screened back to back. And I remember we were watching it. And this was the first time where both films were being screened back to back. And Anna and me were watching it and we were like, yeah, like both these films have a dialogue with each other. And it really becomes quite an experience when Sauna Day opens screening, followed by Smoke Sauna Sisterhood. Because at the end of Sauna Day, when we see the women who come and have the conversation outside the sauna, then we realize that, okay, these women will come inside and they will have Smoke Sauna Sisterhood kind of session. So that's how these two films kind of have a dialogue with each other. And I think somehow the short format fits Sauna Day because the intimacy of men is without words. The intimacy of men is more without words. That's what we felt, that men usually don't talk out their intimacy. They have more of a bodily experience with it, energetic experience with it. That's also what fits the length of Sauna Day, that the intimacy of men is perhaps short-lived and intense.
Yes, actually, when I watched both the films, this is what I observed. They are like parallel films. The same thing about vulnerability, but through two different perspectives. And as you mentioned, Anna, hence, like we have observed her films, and she usually has that beautiful touch of a folklore style of films, and ethereal qualities there. So, how did you come up with such an idea of using smoke sauna as a conduit of both the stories? To merge empowerment with being vulnerable, because I'm very curious about smoke sauna being used in both the films.
So Anna belongs to the Southeast Estonian community where smoke sauna plays a very important role. She grew up in this culture. She grew up with the stories of this culture, and smoke sauna for this community is a communal space to come and share things. So she grew up in this culture. She belongs to this culture. She grew up in this culture, and she came up with this idea that she wants to document the women of this community meeting up in the smoke sauna. So the smoke sauna is like a sacred dark space where these women come and they share their innermost secrets and their innermost shame in the process of washing it off, of letting it go. And for us, as you were mentioning, that while editing it, we felt that we also want to explore men who might share something also in this space. And there are stories of men who burdened by the rules of what it is to be a man in a society, and they're not able to let go of that. So we also explored that idea that what if in this space, which is so sacred, a space which is so integral to the community, perhaps two men are able to let go of that gender rigidness and able to explore connection.
So coming on to your personal journey as a filmmaker, we observe that you have worked in both Estonian and Indian film industries. So how was your experience in both, and what are the main differences you observed in both the film industries?
I have not worked much in the Indian film industry. My experience was more of documentaries in Delhi. I have not worked in the Bombay industry. So I am not in a position to comment about that. But the power of stories are everywhere. The power of stories exist in both cultures. Both cultures have the challenges. In Estonia, they struggle to maybe take the stories outside Estonia. In India, we have a larger audience, we have a large viewership. And I'm very proud of being an Indian who's able to contribute towards culture and cinema in this way. So right now, last year when we were in Cannes, I was approached by an Indian journalist for an interview. So the journalist was telling me that, we were thinking that for the first time, every section in Cannes has an Indian movie, because now in the main competition, there was also an Indian movie. And then we were like, oh, but there's no Indian movie in Critics Week. And then when they saw Sauna Day and the layout and they saw an Indian name on it and they did some research on me, they were like, okay, great. We might not have an Indian film, but we have an Indian filmmaker in Critics Week.
Like a multicultural environment is best for cinema, I believe. Like when there is exchange of culture between filmmakers.
Yeah. Also, I feel that as a foreigner, as a non-Estonian working on Savvusanna Sisterhood, I feel that I was able to also bring in foreign voice into the editing room, but not just a foreign voice, a voice that is foreign, but also understands Estonia, understands the culture where the movie is shot, respects it. So I feel that I was able to assist Anna into taking the idea that she had, which is so local, and I was able to maybe assist her in making that idea global in a way where somebody from India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, they can also resonate with this movie. And that is the power of a strong story, I feel. A story that is local, grounded in the culture of that place, but at the same time, global.
Yes, that is very true. I believe we are going to enter a very exciting period of your career because of your upcoming project. Your first feature fiction project with Honor Hints, called The Black Hairy Beast, is in works, I believe. And yes, congratulations on being selected for the prestigious Torino Script Lab 2025. Do you want to tell us something about this new project of yours?
So this project is being directed by Anna and being written by both of us. We got through Torino and we are very happy for that. Torino is a marvelous workshop. We got amazing inputs over there. We are working with a really strong set of peers over there who are helping us develop the idea. Just for the numbers, we are really happy that only 16 projects were selected out of over 700 projects. So it's an amazing first step for this new idea that we are starting off on. And Torino was where we felt that it would be great if we can start this project off at Torino, and we are very happy that we got through Torino.
That's an amazing achievement, so congratulations for that. We have several budding film artists and aspiring filmmakers among our audience. Would you like to share a message with them at the stepping stones of their film career? Like a small advice for them, I believe?
I can only look back at my time and I can only share stuff from that. And I think the few advices that helped me a lot was be very aware of your career. Yes, think of it like a career, everything. But at the same time, also not to think of it like a career, to think of it like a lifestyle choice. And that's very important, is that somebody had advised me in my early 20s that an artist lives and films happen. So that was a very beautiful piece of advice. And that's what I've tried to listen to, is I have kind of never chased career, I have chased life. And only in time will I know if that's a good choice or not. But yes, I do feel that it is life that has given me the motivation of what films should be made, what films to make. And it has given me career also. So I feel that's very important to remember, that yes, we have to focus on the craft of filmmaking, to watch movies, to read books, to do all this, but at the same time, to not to forget to live. And it is the life that will give us the stories. The more we see of the world, the more we talk to people, the more we live our own life, the aging of our parents, the aging of our grandparents, the story of our grandparents, history, all this is what actually gives us the material for filming. And without the material, there is no story. Without the story, there is no film, basically.
We usually listen to film advices and there's a lot of talk about passion and market visibility. It's very interesting how you frame it as a lifestyle choice, a choice that you make every day to be indulged and be a part of cinema. So that's amazing. Thank you so much, Tushar, for giving us your time and your wonderful insights. We are already admirers of your films and we are really excited for your upcoming projects. And I hope viewers enjoyed this discussion as much as we did. And we will be back with more rising artists from the world of cinema. So stay tuned. Goodbye. Thank you.